Hello my loves and welcome back. So as you can hear, I sound like I'm full of cold, and that's actually not what's going on. What's going on is that I'm having a huge energy shift, and I wanted to talk to you about what happens when you have an energy shift and how you can support yourself with that. So let's dive in. So recently we've completed the Intuitive Guardian. It was a 3-day masterclass and it was absolutely epic. It was a brilliant opportunity to connect with the Naturally Cats community. And we talked about day 1, we talked about our energy, day 2, we talked about our cats, and day 3, we talked about how the two kind of come together and impact each other. And it wasn't like it was a day-long session, it was an hour over 3 days, like an hour each day for 3 days. And it was brilliant. It was a live Zoom session. It was really interesting. We did different exercises. But then this happened to me literally the next day. I woke up the Thursday morning, because we did the last one on the Wednesday night. Woke up on the Thursday morning and thought, oh, that's not good. The Wednesday night after the live session, I had a tickle in my throat, and I thought, it's because I've been, online talking, extra communication. And then from the Thursday until today, what day is today? Tuesday. I've been like this, but worse. I've had like hot and cold shivers. I've had all sorts of different symptoms. Now, there are those of you that may say, like, I've had a cold or I've had a flu, and you'd be well within your rights to believe that. I, however, don't believe that. I don't really go out and see people. Do you know what? I'm not going to justify it. What I am going to say is that I believe it's an energy shift, and I wanted to explain to you what happens when you do energy work with your cat, what the impact of that can be, and how you can support yourself. So if you see me looking down, it's because I've got notes here, because my brain is foggy. I want to make sure that I cover everything. So the first thing is, like, energy or emotional release takes energy. When you start to look at yourself, when you take time to really reflect and go within, that takes essence, and there are times when we are holding so much we don't even realise it. We are doing the day-to-day, you're on the hamster wheel, you're all the merry-go-round, whichever analogy you like, and you just keep going, right? You just keep going. Excuse me. And when you pause, the body's like, oh, and it's not just the body that softens, it's the energy that you've been holding in your cells, in your chakras, in your joints, like in every part of you. It's like, oh, we can move now. It's like, great, let's come out the body. And it could be it comes out in snot, it could be it comes out in pain, it could be it comes out in shivers, it could be it comes out in ways that you don't really expect or recognise. So the first thing I wanted to say is that when you're doing energy work with your cat, like, I think a lot of people expect to be like uplifted and to feel great and amazing. And if you do, woo, I think that happens after the initial connection, because the comments that I got after the each day's session were brilliant. People saying that they'd really shifted. They had, like, their spirit cats had come in. They'd were feeling grief from like years ago. It was all sorts of stuff. So in the moment they felt uplifted, because that is the moment of connection, the moment of awareness, the moment of shifting. And then the body and the energy systems are like, oh, right, okay, let's process that now. So if you've done any energy work with your cat, whether that's a tender class or have a healing session or whatever it may be, and you're feeling a bit rough afterwards, like, that's natural. Like, don't panic, it's okay, but you do need to take some steps to support yourself. So one of the things that can come in is that your nervous system shifts. So, like, let's just use one analogy, because I don't have the brain power for two, but let's just say you're on that hamster wheel and then you stop. What does your nervous system do? Your nervous system's like, go, 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 go. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, we don't need to. And the physical body shifts, your adrenaline levels drop, and all the other hormones that are impacted with the fight or flight response. So your nervous system, your vagus nerve, your body is all like, whoa, we've got to process all of that. We've got to process the adrenaline throughout the body, so it's okay to make time to rest. It's okay to just pause for a second. And I know for a lot of you that may not be comfortable. Like, I'm one of those people. You know, literally Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I didn't do my Mother's Day thing that I was meant to with my mum. I didn't do this thing I was meant to with my sister. I didn't do this thing I was meant to with my dad. Over those 4 days, I was like, nope, I just need to rest. I was on the sofa in comfy clothes and watching my box set. That was it. That was all I could manage. Baby Max brought in a dead bird. Baby Max was also on a different day sick. Leo did a wee. Like, you know, I'm still a cat mum, but we managed to make it through. And it was hard. It was hard to cancel engagements and responsibilities and to not be doing the jobs that I knew that I could see needed to be done around the house. But I knew that if I didn't honour my body, I would face worse things. So rest if you can, you know, plenty of fluids, and honour what your body needs in terms of fuel. So you'd think that like having, you know, lovely juices or lots of fruits and vegetables would be what my body needs right now to get all the nutrients to support it. And actually I've literally gone the other way. I've been eating packets of rice and waffles because my food needs beige food. My body needs beige food. My body's like, whoa, we are processing all this stuff over here. You want us to digest all this as well and take all the nutrients out of this? You know, like, come on now. So honour what your body needs in terms of health and wellness to get you through this, okay? And then the last thing I wanted to say, excuse me, hang on. Oh dear. Is that your cat may notice the energy shift as well, and they might also be processing. So if you notice that they're sleeping more, which my 2 boys are, if you notice that they are closer to you, coming closer to you, Leo's been doing that, they are showing you that they are processing this energy shift too. So for the last 3 days, I've had over an hour, 2 days out of those 3, over 2 hours of lap cuddles from Leo. It's been incredible. It's been a surprise, but it's been incredible. And I know that he is helping. He is helping me to migrate through this energy shift. You know, people, like, come on, we all know that cats are healers. But I think with Leo it's different because when my energy is wonky, he's like out the door, won't come anywhere near me, you know? So I think he's also processing an energy shift, which is bringing us closer together. So just bear in mind that when you're doing energy work with your cat, and by energy work, that could be, you know, a hands-on healing session, it could be using essential oils, crystals, but it can also be like you doing some journaling. It can also be you creating some reflective space and time for yourself, because all of those things are healing, and all of those things will impact your body, your energetic body, your physical body, your mental, your emotional, etc., etc. So just remember that you don't need to like chase the next breakthrough. You don't need to go and chase the next healing moment. You know, when you take into account the work that you're doing and you show up and you're present at an event, doing some journaling, creating space for yourself, the healing's really subtle that can come underneath that. And if you're having a very physical reaction, a very overt reaction, lean into it. Like, as much as you can, lean into it. Allow yourself the grace and the space, didn't mean to rhyme, to honour that shift. Because if you don't, you're not allowing your frequency to expand. If you don't, you're not allowing the healing to occur, which means everything gets more and more compacted, which means it will come out at a later date in a really shitty way. So I hope that this has been helpful. I hope that it has given you a bit of food for thought in terms of being aware of what's happening in your physical body when you're doing the energetic work, because the two are so closely linked. So don't dismiss the symptoms and signs that you have when you're working with energy, and allow yourself to lean into them as best you can. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.